Hello my friends, I am the Dungeon Tutor. Welcome! Today's video is day 15 of RPGaDay, almost halfway through. And today has a wonderful little question. What is an RPG that is a book with great character gear? Not only am I a huge fan of those books that add on to what my players can tote around with them, but also give me things as a game master to confront them with, to give something different than just a same old response. I mean, the game that I'm going to choose today is Shadowrun 1st Edition, but again, Shadowrun had a decent-sized page with all of the different weapons on it, a decent range of submachine guns and shotguns and assault rifles and pistols and heavy pistols and from miniguns and assault cannons that are man-portable. Yeah, it had a lot of stuff like that. But it had one minigun, it had one assault cannon, it had 3 or 4 assault rifles, you know, a couple. Nothing tremendous, but enough to give you some flavor. And it varied enough that there was an actual difference if you were toting around an Ruger Super Warhawk as opposed to a Predator 2 heavy pistol. Different stats, some being better, some being worse. Yeah. So, back then they knew the importance of having a range of different things that you could use. And that was only getting better when you had things like this, the Street Samurai Catalog. One of my favorite books, honest to goodness. And from the condition it's in, you can tell. I've gone through this book a number of times. This book always makes me chuckle. First of all, as I said, Shadowrun was already a game that had a decent range of stuff. This just added to it. More guns, more melee weapons, cybernetics, vehicles, all kinds of things that you might find in the day-to-day added to the game. And in many cases, they filled a niche. They expanded on what was possible because they added some features that perhaps the original guns didn't have. They played around with different options to redesign new guns and new weaponry. They have an axe in here that actually has a laser that goes forth before the actual blade hits to soften up whatever you're about to hit. That's kind of crazy and funny. So they have a real opportunity here to kind of reach out and expand the different weapons and gear that your character has. Much welcome in my games. I use these books extensively, as do my players. And honestly, I always target these as the first books, something like this, to expand any of my role-playing games. I want my players to have more stuff. So if it's, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, they will have books that are full of magical items and magical stuff. And that's oftentimes some of the first things that I look for. Really haven't been as many with 5th edition, but all the prior editions had stuff. The 4th edition had the Adventurer's Vault. 3rd edition had several compendiums of the different magical items that were available. So useful. This is another example. This one came out, and this one just straight up expanded the number of things you could have rather than consolidating. And put it out in such a way that all the information is presented to you, as well as fun little biting barbs from in-game world from these different Shadowrunners who are critiquing the various weaponry and armor. It was really well done. I really love this book. And that is why Shadowrun is one of those games. As long as anybody has had it and paid any attention to Shadowrun in general, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th editions, they've all been packed with books of cool stuff. All the stuff that your characters might want. But, of course, leaving room for you as a game master to elaborate on, expand upon, and throw things of your own into the world if you wish. You don't need to, but you can do it. And that is pretty cool. In general, that has always been one thing if somebody's asked me, what's a good gear book? I'm like, the Shadowrun books are really good for adding new stuff to the game world. You do have to be a little careful, though. Some of the stuff can be really... You don't appreciate how overpowering they can be until you introduce them into your game world sometimes. I'll just say that. For instance, in that book, one of the most, book doesn't really look all that dramatic, but the ADPS ammo that's in there is just so much better than any other ammo. It's just expensive and extremely illegal. But still, it is very cool, and if you get your hands on it, it's a heck of a reward to just give somebody a couple of clips of that hot ammo, and they'll be pretty happy for it when they start using it. So, anyhow, those are my thoughts. I hope you liked it. The various editions, again, I've got several books for various editions. I still have a soft spot for the first edition, even though I recognize the rules were a little rough in some places. And later editions did account for a lot of those things that maybe didn't work quite so well in the first. Got it. But still one of my favorites. And I hope that you enjoyed this little video and maybe, take a look yourself sometime. You might find something that's really good there that you like. But as much as anything, I hope that you liked it enough to like this video, maybe to subscribe to my channel possibly, or even select the notifications so you know when I've got other things coming in the works, which they are. I would really love it, though, if you leave a comment. What's a game that you particularly find fits that category of having great gear? That would be really cool. And, if you have anybody who's looking for something like that with something that gives you the ability to make a character that is just completely a gear hound, where you can blow 1,000,000 new yen on all of the whiz enhancements and stuff. Yeah, it's a game that can do that. And you might really have some fun with it if you let yourself. So until that next time, my friends, if you come back to see me again, I hope that you, yes, you, get a chance to roll some dice, to play some games, to have some fun, but stay safe out there, my friends. I am the Dungeon Tutor, and until next time, farewell.